Okay, I purposely have this disconnected from the brake switch here, and we're just going to check out the operation of the light bulb and everything on a GM 3rd Gen Camaro. Okay, the dash is apart in this, but this still all works. We'll put this in. That's in the run position. The brake light is off right here. If I go pull this up, and it's on. So I've got some chocks on this car. I'm going to put this down, then I'm going to go ahead and jumper the wire up front, and we'll see how that works. Okay, I've got a pair of alligator clips. I moved this back and forth a bunch of times to get a good contact, and I had to kind of crush the clip, and it's going down there touching this contact. So when this is grounded out, the light should be on. And lo and behold, there's the light on, the brake light. So the circuit to the front works. Grounding this terminal here turns the light on. I'm going to go ahead and pop this on here. I put the valve back in. I actually recentered this by bleeding the back brakes. But I'm going to go ahead and push this on. It'll click in place. To get this off, you have to squeeze it this way, but we're going to see if the light is on or off now. So over here, this is off. Of course, I've got the dash up. Normally it'll say brake. I've been doing some repair work, replacing some bulbs, but I've penciled in the word brake there. So that's about it. So this light will go on and off with the parking. Pull this up. You can hear it click, or it'll do it with the switch up front. So can be the bulbs burned out too, and you can pull the whole cluster to get that out, or you can go ahead and take the front out, and you can stick a piece of tubing in there, like a piece of fuel line tubing, and grab the bulb and twist it as a trick to get those out of there. Or you need miniature fingers or something. It's kind of down in the cavity. Okay, to get this out, you got some ears here you have to squeeze. And there you go. Like this. When they're old, they tend to be, you have to push pretty hard to get that to separate. This has got a 5/8, and I just had that as down that was flush. This is a one that's I'm going to replace anyways. The O-ring's missing on it, disintegrated. Of course, this gets pushed in when the spool moves. And then this is a gizmo you put in so when you bleed brakes, you don't have doesn't move the spool. So you can screw that in. I'm just trying to make sure it starts in the thread right. And that prevents the spool from moving over when you have excessive. I had to move over when I did a pressure bleed with a container on the top that pressurizes this. And when I've done it just slowly pushing the brakes in, I didn't have one move the spool in years ago, but I went ahead and by mistake pushed pretty hard on the brake pedal and moved the spool over, so it went this way. And then what I had to do is open up a back line, so there's a control, the back here, excuse me, and then the spool was this way to block off the front. And I went ahead and closed the bleeders for the front, and I opened up one on the rear here. This is the rear, and it forced the spool back when I hit the pedal pretty hard. And you can do is you can look at the light, have it in the run position, and push it pretty hard till it pops back over. Sometimes it won't do that if they get crap in them. That's what I've heard. Okay, let's go ahead and do some bleeding here. Push the pedal about 3 or 4 times. Still got some bubbles coming up through there. See them? Just put some more brake fluid in the master cylinder. We're going to pump it some more times. I've actually filled that up twice. Look, it's still got bubbles. Let's try it one more time. That's probably good enough for what I want to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and replace some lines and do some other stuff later. I'm just trying to get this to work fairly well. Over here is the, whoa, it's all the stuff. I've bled this before, but still getting some dregs out of there.